I mean, again, there's loads of different harnesses available on the market. I've got a lightweight mountaineering and winter climbing harness here, the Petzl Whisper, new product from Petzl. Absolutely brilliant, maintains a relatively high level of comfort for something that is incredibly light and packs very small into a rucksack. You are always compromising with these pieces of equipment between comfort, robustness, and the weight and the volume that they pack down to. And this is a particularly light harness. Got clipped onto that, I've got a belay device, clipped onto a screw gate carabiner, a small lightweight screw gate carabiner, my Prosix on, standard climbing equipment. And I've also got my ice threader clipped on here. This is for creating a Balakov threads if you need to retreat off an ice route. It's also very, very useful in winter when you've got shallow threads that have got ice and ice frozen into them, basically. That means you can smash through it and pull slings through to get rock threads as well. And in terms of rack, I mean, what we're looking at here is a classic standard Plaza Brennan traditional climbing rack. We've got a variety of wires, mostly a double set, size 1 to about size 10. A couple of bigger ones on there, and then equally, really similar set of cams, generally 6 or 7 cams, up to and including the Dragon size 5, the Blue Dragon. Also, really important in winter as well, on this rack there are 5 slings. It's really good to have a lot of slings for winter climbing. Sometimes when the cracks are frozen up, as previously mentioned, we also might want to take a set of hexes, either as well as the cams, or maybe sometimes as well we might take a bigger set of hexes instead of the cams if we know the cracks are going to be really verglassed and the cams just won't stick. Winter protection that we would be carrying would be a set of ice screws. Generally speaking, a rack of ice screws, depending on the routes that you're going to go and climb and how difficult they are for you, you'd probably be carrying between sort of 6 and about 12 or 14. It's generally good to have a selection of sort of medium length screws, such as this blue handled laser speed that I've got here, Petzl ice screw. These are really good modern ice screws, and they've got a retractable handle here which creates really good leverage so that when you've got it threaded you can screw them in really easily. I've also got an example of a slightly older version of a screw. These were made by DMM, and this is a 22 centimetre screw, which is particularly good to have a couple of those at least on a rack, because they're really good on belays. To have one of these in a belay on deep ice is really good, but also they're very good for making deep, what we call V threads or Balakov threads, if you are having to retreat off an ice belay and not need to leave your ice screws behind. It's really important to look after the threads on your ice screws, mostly because the teeth and the threads and the sharpness of them will delineate whether or not these things wind into the ice easily or potentially not, if they are either a bit rusty or they're a bit dented. So what we try to do is protect them by keeping them in some kind of case, such as this one, where you can see we've got a few ice screws racked up already, or you have a protective sleeve on the outside of the threads. So if you do happen to pull your ice screws out at the end of a summer season and realise that the teeth are a bit blunted, it's really worth getting them sharpened. Now, it is possible to buy sharpening tools from Petzl of a variety of different natures, but you can also take them to a couple of well-known outdoor retailers in the UK and get them to do them for you. We've also got a couple of slightly more wacky looking pieces of winter protection here. We've got this is a DMM Bulldog. You can also get a smaller version of this called a Terrier. It's effectively like the pick of an ice axe, and when you batter them into frozen turf or icy crack, they can often form really quite reassuring bits of protection with these sharp teeth to keep them in place. This is a Warthog, which has a kind of offset thread. You hammer them in, and often when hammered really well into really firm frozen turf, they can feel pretty reassuring actually, and you actually then end up twisting them out to remove them.